The so-called rule of law party continues to trample on due process, with the Trump administration refusing to move a finger to help return Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That in spite of the Supreme Court's unanimous ruling that the administration must facilitate his return, and administration officials having already admitted that his removal was an accident. Rather than work with Democrats to bring Abrego Garcia home, Trump and the White House have instead teamed up with the self-described world's coolest dictator to obstruct Democrats in their effort. First by stage managing a visit by Senator Chris Van Hollen, and later by putting up roadblocks to the visit by a group of 4 U.S. representatives who, before their return to the states, put a finer point on what this case is really about.
This could happen to any one of our constituents, any one of my constituents in Orlando, Florida, tomorrow or the next day. And so it's important that we draw the line here with Kilmar.
This issue is more than about Kilmar. It's about due process in the U.S., and it's about following what the Supreme Court is saying and bringing him back home.
Congressman Robert Garcia, who is back from El Salvador, joins us now, and Rick Stengel is back with us. Congressman, tell us why you decided to go to El Salvador.
I think it's really important at this moment that the American public and the people of El Salvador understand that Donald Trump is defying a 9-0 unanimous Supreme Court order to bring Kilmar home. The Trump administration has said they made a mistake in sending him there. Lower courts have affirmed what the Supreme Court have said. Today, additional courts have said we need more information. We've got to act quicker. And yet Donald Trump has now crossed a line that just before his election would be unthinkable, defying the Supreme Court openly. Kilmar's case is not just a story about an illegal deportation. It is about the Constitution under attack by Donald Trump. And Democrats in the House need to be in this fight. We applauded Senator Van Hollen for going. That was the absolute right thing to do. And when we got denied by the House majority to go on a congressional trip, myself and Representative Frost, we decided to do it ourselves because we're not going to be stopped from calling this out and the additional injustices that are happening to other people without due process in El Salvador.
Congressman, what questions did you go on that trip with, and what answers did you come back with?
So we had a variety of meetings. I mean, one, obviously, we met with the U.S. Embassy and the ambassador. We did have a classified briefing about the situation on the ground. But I can tell you one thing that became crystal clear out of that meeting is that right now the U.S. Embassy is doing nothing to facilitate the return of Kilmar Garcia, which has been mandated by the Supreme Court. Now, at the same time, we asked about other folks that are being held. We know there's a case, for example, of a gentleman, Andri, who was picked up as he was going through the asylum process that he signed up for on the government's system, was picked up during the asylum process at the border, taken to an El Salvador prison. This is a young gay man who is vulnerable according to his family. And they've not heard of him since he was essentially kidnapped through our own asylum process and is now in an El Salvadorian prison that is considered incredibly ruthless by its own citizens. So these are the stories that we're trying to bring attention to. We met with organizers on the ground, people that are opposing what's happening there, young activists, the faith community, met with Kilmar Abrego's family, and of course, continue to draw attention to this case. And so we have a lot of questions still, but the Trump administration needs to do the right thing and bring Kilmar home.
So, Rick, Congressman Garcia, Congressman Frost, they are not the only ones with a lot of questions here. And there was frustration today on the part of Judge Zinnes in the Noem versus Garcia case. She slammed the government for what she called, quote, willful and bad faith refusal to comply with discovery, adding that for weeks defendants have sought refuge behind vague and unsubstantiated assertions of privilege, using them as a shield to obstruct discovery and evade compliance with its court's orders. That ends now. By no later than 6 p.m. on April 23rd, defendants shall supplement their answers to and responses to provide the specific legal and factual basis for asserted privilege. I mean, her frustration in this is palpable. The government made a decision. There should be a paper trail that lays out the decision that was made, hand it over to the court so that we can understand and decide whether or not it was legal. The fact that the government is refusing to provide the documentation that a judge has ordered tells you about the crisis that we find ourselves in.
Yes, in your introduction, Alicia, you called them the alleged rule of law party. I mean, they're not obeying rule of law. Our system is based on a separation of powers, that the federal government is separate from the judiciary, but the judiciary can tell the federal government what to do The judiciary decides what the law is. When the federal government disobeys the Supreme Court or disobeys a district court judge, they are violating the fundamental constitutional principles of our country. I want to applaud Congressman Garcia for his trip and everything that he's done and talk about the importance of obeying the Constitution. The word due process is a little abstract to most Americans. And people need to explain it what it is. When you violate someone's due process, that means you go to their house, you slam down the door, you arrest them, and you don't charge them, you don't put them in front of a judge, you put them in prison. Now, that's happening to an undocumented immigrant, but it can happen to regular Americans under this administration, and that's what people have to understand.